Hello.
Hey, Sammies. Guess what we're doing?
A live show.
It's our first live show.
We're taking this on the road, bitches.
Boop, 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 boo.
So we have our first live show in Long Beach, California on August 4th, which is a Sunday at 7 p.m.
It's going to be a little unofficial after party of Midsummer Scream. So if you're going there, be sure to hit up our show when it's over.
Woohoo. It's going to be at, what's it called again, Bernsey?
Pulp Fiction Books and Comics. That's 1742 Clark Avenue, Long Beach. Free show, free beer, giveaways.
Yeah,
maybe some other cool shit. We're fucking making it happen, Sammies.
Yeah, man. It's going to be kind of as much as of a surprise to you as it will be to us. So, woohoo! Let's see how this goes.
We'll see you there.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, come on. You know I don't watch that shit.
Why not? Too scared?
No, it's just what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
Hello and welcome to episode 49ers.
I wonder how long it's going to happen that we keep trying to say what episode it is.
I think forever.
Yeah, forever. Okay. We're coming up on the year anniversary and the L.
The L episode L.
It's very exciting. Here's my shot. You ready? Cheers.
Cheers. China holes out.
China holes out, tits up.
Oh boy.
Ugh. I forgot we did that.
This is Kim and Ketryn Stay Alive.
Maybe.
We're a horror movie comedy podcast.
Yep.
I'm Kim Burns.
And I'm Ketryn Porter.
We're going to tell you a whole movie. We're going to spoil the fuck out of it, and we're going to play a game to see how we all stay alive.
All of us together, cumulatively.
Hand in hand.
Yeah.
Hands across America.
That's what... Oh, no. Hands across America. Kim, you set that up.
This is so good.
You reference us, and I have to do my red voice.
You're so good at it. I'll give it to you.
Guys, we are so dedicated to this podcast that we are recording on a national holiday, the 4th of July.
We are.
Rather than day drinking by a pool, we are making sure that we bring you some Kim and Kat Stay Alive, maybe.
Although we are drinking while doing it.
Yes.
And then we'll probably find a pool later.
For sure.
So
that whiskey is making me like over salivate right now. Like I feel like I've just got a lot of like saliva happening.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Well, I just became very self-conscious about it because I realized this is your first day wearing headphones.
Yeah.
So that you were just hearing me swallow a lot.
Secret sauce. I haven't worn headphones ever in the recording of the podcast. And today's the first day. It's weird, guys.
Yeah.
It's weird. I like just listening in my just regular ears.
It's super. You'll get used to it though, because then when you aren't wearing them, you'll be like, we're not recording. You'll totally get used to it.
Are we recording? Okay.
But we are. But again, I'm very sorry for my over salivization.
I didn't notice. You're good.
It's
all I can hear is my own voice.
which is how you like it. Your headphones are super cute.
Thank you.
Way cuter than mine.
Thanks.
I want some cute ones now.
What's going on? Oh, should we talk? You know what we're doing?
What?
We're doing a live show.
Oh yeah, we're doing a live show.
It's going to be August 4th, which is a Sunday. It's a little unofficial after party of Midsummer Scream. So anyone who's going to Midsummer Scream in Long Beach, California, we're going to do a live show. It's our first live show.
We're so excited.
We're doing our first live show, you guys.
And we're going to be doing, our live shows are going to be episodes from...
Wait, should we share? Or I think it should be a secret.
It should be a secret?
A surprise. Not a secret. A surprise.
Never mind. I don't know what I was going to say.
I mean, I don't know. Should it be? I think it should be a surprise. Is it more fun? Less fun? I don't know. Oh, wait. You know what? We should probably tell.
I was thinking that we should tell.
Just in case people want to watch.
That's what I... Yeah.
No, we should tell.
So, okay. So we're going to be doing episodes of Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, but you won't know which episode we're doing. You'll know it's one of two. basically.
It's going to be either episode 1 or episode 2.
Right.
So watch them both if you want, or watch neither.
Right.
And forget it ever existed if you want to not have seen it.
Right. Just.
And we will spoil it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have, it's free. We're going to have free beer.
Yep.
We're going to have some giveaways and maybe some more surprises. We'll see. We've got some things in the,
who knows,
in the works.
Very, very fun, surprising live show things. We're super excited. I'm nervous.
So excited. I don't feel I just feel jazzed.
I always get nervous, but my nervousness is my security blanket.
Oh, like it's a good thing. Got you.
Because like the one
performing.
time that I don't even remember what performance it was, but I didn't get nervous and I fucking forgot like an entire chunk of text. And I was, from that point forward, I was like, the nervousness is my lucky charm.
Yeah. Nerves are just excitement anyway. So
Yeah.
we're feeling the same thing. I'm sure I'll be
We're
nervous
super
there.
excited. How is your life?
My life is good. I canceled all my dating apps.
Fuck
I turned
yeah.
them off.
I love it.
I went on that fucking, what was that, speed dating thing?
Oof.
I don't know if I've talked about that on here or not, but that was a thing.
But like, you really haven't even like talked to me about it.
Oh,
like, were
really?
you scarred?
No.
Are you like, I can't talk about this
it was
experience?
Just, it wasn't great. I met people. And I only had to talk to them for 7 minutes, and that was it.
7?
And
I thought it was only 2.
no, 7.
Okay.
2's like too short.
7 minutes in heaven, am I right?
Barf. It wasn't great. And then I was just getting overwhelmed. Oh, I've been really overwhelmed and tired and exhausted and fatigued. And I think I have adrenal fatigue. And so I'm helping myself. I'm listening to books and podcasts about myself and my body. And I'm taking some supplements, doing the things. And I think that, online dating specifically is like another job. And I just I didn't have time.
I hear you.
But
I hear you.
ironically, since I turned them off, I've gone on like multiple dates.
That's fucking So I had a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, who you haven't met yet, but I'm going to be kidnapping her into our friend group, just so you know.
Okay.
Her name is Bethlehem. And I think she listens to this. She better, or she won't be kidnapped into our group.
You're not our friend.
But she asked specifically about you, I think because she has probably listened, where she was like, doesn't your friend Kim do the dating apps? And I was like, she does. Like, she does them all. And she's like, it sounds exhausting. I just can't bring myself to do it. And I was like, I don't think Kim would disagree with you. Like, I don't think...
I also don't think they're bad.
Right.
Like, I just needed a break.
Right.
Either you just kind of are into it or not at certain points. And like, sometimes when you're doing it like consistently, I'm like, oof, I just need a break.
Yeah. She just was like, it seems overwhelming. And I was like, it is. I don't think you're misinterpreting that. And I don't think Kim would tell you differently.
No, 100%. And and then when I start to realize that I don't have maybe the time or the energy, and then I really start like just not replying to people constantly, it's just too much sometimes. So I turned them all off, and then have been asked on multiple dates from just humans in life, like someone I met on set and someone picked me up in a CVS.
All right.
I'm just living life and
I love
things
it.
are happening. I don't know.
That's fucking great. That's fucking great. Let's see. What have I been up to? I've not been on the dating apps. Oh, I was not here for 10 days.
I know. You abandoned me.
It was a very illuminating trip, I will say. I went to Baltimore for 3 days so I could see my St. Pauli girls, which is, aside from my parents' house and the peace that I feel at my parents' home and the nostalgia of Baltimore, I don't keep in touch with a ton of people from Baltimore, except for Sarah and Randy, who are like my,
I think that's just
my OGs.
Life.
So it was delightful, like just being at my parents' home, and like the backyard in the summer is so, what's the word? Rejuvenating? Is that what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I drove up to the Cape with my parents for a 9-hour car ride. That was interesting. No, it was super fun. I love hanging out with my parents, but I did sort of learn a lot of stuff being like 3 adults together for 10 days as opposed to me with my parents and my brother as a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
But then I also realized that like the environment within that we were vacationing in, there were some elements of like me having to remind myself or subconsciously having to remind other people that I'm no longer 12.
Right.
So that was interesting.
Yeah.
I also learned that my parents blocked out most of my childhood, which was fascinating to me.
Blocked out?
Yeah. Like I would say like, do you remember when we did this? And they were like, must have blocked it out. And I was like, cool. And they were like, we were stressed.
Fucking welcome to my life.
Stressed. Yeah. And I was like, okay.
I black things out immediately.
Well,
I do. Sometimes when people are asking about the podcast for like episodes or something, I'm like, I don't remember.
Like you remember better than I do.
I don't recall. You're going to please don't put me on the spot. Please don't put me on the spot, sir.
I mean, but also like we are just talking and other people are only listening. So it's like we're multitasking during the recording of every episode.
Yeah, we're talking and listening.
Yeah, it's a lot. And chewing gum.
And I have 5 drinks next to me, so.
Though I am a little concerned about Kim because we offered her a 5th beverage today and she declined. I know. I'm really concerned. Do we want to just... I'd
like to hear a movie.
Yeah. Let's...
I'm bored with myself.
Honestly, I'm bored with myself too. So if you needed to skip the first however long this has been.
Now's your moment.
Yeah. We're going to talk about a movie now. So I watched a movie that... Concerned face?
Something sounded... There was a sound.
Oh, I didn't hear anything. Is your ghost boyfriend back?
No.
Maybe.
You hope so.
I'm sure. He's on vacation.
You mean after you murdered him?
I didn't murder him.
You did.
I'm sorry. All right. Do you have any idea what I watched?
No.
It's on Netflix. People are talking about it.
Oh.
It is The Perfection.
Oh.
Allison Williams.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you seen anything about it?
No, I've been avoiding it.
Okay, good. Thank you. So, it was interesting. And don't read into that in any way. Like that, I actually mean that unironically and non-sarcastically. Yeah. But our friend Rachel at Fangoria posted about it, and that's where I was like, "Oh yeah, I wanna do that."
Oh, okay.
So I'm doing it.
All right,
and,
this one's for you, Rachel.
Yeah, and it threw a little twisteroo in our game,
Ooh.
which I'm excited about. All right, so first, Dead or Alive, and don't worry, there's only 7.
Okay.
All right. Charlotte.
Alive.
Anton / Wings.
Dead.
Theus.
Alive.
Shang Li.
Alive.
Lizzie.
Alive.
Paloma.
Dead.
Jeffrey.
Alive.
Nice. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Yay.
The Perfection. First shot opens on an old woman dead in her bed.
Oh, okay.
She looks to have died expectedly, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Eyes open. She looks older and like she had been ill.
Mm-hmm.
And Allison Williams, Charlotte, is sitting in a chair next to the bed. And it's sort of flashing between her in present day and her 10 years ago sitting in the same chair watching her mother. And we see that there are 2 women in the hallway talking very quietly and in whispers. And the subtitles tell me that it's 2 aunts. It's her mom's 2 sisters. And they're saying, I don't know. She's been taking care of her for years. I mean, can she even still play? And that's all we hear. It then flashes to Charlotte at a music school as a young child around the same age as the flashback that we saw to her sitting in the same chair. Then we see a flash to her running down the street and a flash to her back in the chair. Title card. Number 1, Mission. Now we're with Charlotte on a plane, and she appears to be, or the voiceover is her practicing leaving a voicemail. Because we hear her saying, "Hi, Anton, Paloma, it's Charlotte Wilmore." No. "Hi, Anton. Hi, Paloma, it's Charlotte." And she's practicing. Then we hear her actually leaving the message, and she says, well, my mother finally passed away, and I'm ready to come back and join you now. Cuts to another title card, Shanghai. And it's Charlotte walking through the streets of Shanghai, leaving this message. So Charlotte is now walking around whatever is like the Times Square of Shanghai. Like that was kind of the vibe of where she was. And there's this giant, huge Times Square like billboard of a girl named Elizabeth Wells, and she's holding a cello. So she's clearly an incredibly prestigious cello player. And Charlotte is looking at her, recognizing who she is clearly.
A cellist. Didn't you play cello?
I did play cello as a 5th grader.
Great.
And I really wish, if I could get in a time machine, I would go back in time and I would tell little Lauren at Hampton Elementary, hey, cello is going to seem a lot cooler when you're a grown-up, so maybe just stick with it, eh? Because my dream now would be to like be a really good cello player and be in like a rock band playing cello.
That would be cool.
Wouldn't that be fucking awesome? Because apparently I was like good at it. Like I was always in first chair. But like, I mean,
you really had that hot cross buns down.
I really had that hot cross. You know what I also learned? I really wanted to play drums or saxophone. And I was like, why did I ever pick cello? And it turns out that my parents basically said, you can play a string instrument and it will be cello because that will be the least annoying for us to hear you practice.
I feel like sax wouldn't have been that annoying. Drums for sure.
Having been a child who heard people playing saxophone practicing, it was very annoying because you have to like, part of the skill of playing a wind instrument or an instrument you have to blow into.
Inform me. As a flautist, I know about wind instruments, ma'am.
This is what's confusing to me because I couldn't, anything that had a reed involved, I couldn't make a sound come out of it.
Yeah, it's
so like
challenging.
part of the skill was like, can you even make a sound come out of it?
Yeah.
So the first part of you practicing would have just been like, so I agree. Oh my God, what if we were in a rock band as a cellist and a flautist?
I know, we'd be so cool.
Fuck my life. God, somebody invented
you
time machine.
You fucking failed.
I know, I really did. I'm sorry. So anyway, I was able to appreciate the cello music in this though. Like it kind of took me back where I was like, shit, I actually like appreciate that. I think Allison Williams is actually playing the cello in this movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're like, that sounds like me. 5th grade.
It did.
Chair
that's
one.
That's how good I was.
First chair, man.
First fucking chair. Did flautists have did the rest of the orchestra have first chairs and second chairs?
Yeah, that's how band works, douche.
I didn't know. We didn't practice with the band. We only practiced with the strings, and then we would come together with the orchestra. That's why. I didn't know.
That's how an orchestra works. That's how professional orchestras work.
You know what, guys? I'm leaving because Kim has got a little bit too much toot for me. So goodbye. Okay. So we're now at a party in Shanghai with a lot of rich people. She's walking into the party alone and clearly looks, a little uncomfortable. When Anton Wings, and the reason I'm calling him Wings is because it's Stephen Weber from the show Wings.
Oh yeah, which brother is he?
He is the fuck up brother. He also played the
cute.
Jack Nicholson role,
right? In the new Shining,
in the new Shining.
remake.
Yeah. So I love him.
He's cute.
Yeah, he's super cute, and he's a little bit of a silver fox now. So hey, so Wings walks over, and he's got a lady on his arm, and I was a little creeped out about how she was on his arm because they're at a party and there was just something like very attached with the way she walked, like with her arm through his arm, almost as if she like couldn't leave his side.
Okay, so where are we? We're at a party?
We're at a really like fancy party in Shanghai.
Okay,
that Charlotte is arriving to. So Paloma and Wings both hug Charlotte, and we see from the other side of the camera that Charlotte has really deep, gnarly scars on her wrist when she goes to hug them. So now we are at a final fancy cellist concert. It's basically like a final recital for the children that are at this school that we learn Anton Wings is the head of, and it's called the Backoff Academy. And it's a bunch of little, like, probably 10 to 12-year-olds that are playing cello, and it's a big privilege to study and reside at the academy. So it's like a boarding school, and Wings is up there talking about how his most prized protege, Elizabeth Wells, Lizzie, who was the one on the billboard, her music is as close to God as you can get. We see Charlotte, as he's saying this, look over at Lizzie with like a super jealous fucking look on her face. Now he starts talking about Charlotte and how she was actually his most prized protege until she had to leave the school early because her mom had a stroke.
Oof.
So now we get a flash to a bathtub, blood in the bathtub, a shaved head, electroshock being applied to that shaved head. Whose head is that? Then we hear that Charlotte is actually going to be the second judge of this final recital of the children of the Backoff Academy that's performing in Shanghai.
And who's the first judge? Do we know?
Lizzie.
Yeah.
So he's saying, like, my two prized proteges are going to be judging this. So Paloma is his wife. Paloma is the one that came over and was, like, very attached on his arm. And she calls over the two other teachers of the Backoff Academy. And she's like, you remember Theus and Jeffrey? And they both hug Charlotte as well. So now here comes Wings over to the little group of people talking. Lizzie is there as well. So it's Charlotte, Lizzie, Paloma, Theus, and Jeffrey. And now Wings comes over. And he's like, Lizzie, meet Charlotte. And these are my two most perfect students. And Charlotte just starts blowing Lizzie up. Like, she's just like, I've been listening to everything you've ever recorded. You're amazing. And I saw the photographs of you for that photo shoot you did for that magazine. Like, you're absolutely incredible. I can't even believe I'm getting to meet you. And Lizzie, like, stops her and is like, you were my idol. You don't need to say any of this. I'm only as good as I am because I wanted to be you.
Wow.
And then we sort of see a look between them that's maybe a sexy look, possibly. Is it a sexy look or a jealous look? Is it a jealous sexy look? Is it a sexy jealous look? What is happening?
I
what
don't
is this
know,
look?
but I'm in.
All I know is that both of these ladies are very pretty. So I'm into it.
Yes.
All right. So now
I'm next and I'm jealous.
Yeah. Exactly. So now we cut to watching the little baby cellists playing in their little recital. And Charlotte and Lizzie are sitting next to each other. And Lizzie leans over to Charlotte in the way that you whisper in someone's ear to let them know that you would like to have sexual relations with them. Like, you're conveying, regular information, but the way you're whispering, you're like, let's be clear. I want you inside me. That was what was happening.
Okay.
And she says,
Eek.
do you want to know a secret?
Yes.
Kim's into it. The girl on the left is going to win.
What?
And
How does she know?
Charlotte says, doesn't that kind of take the drama out of it? And Lizzie says, oh, you want drama? Watch the lady in blue. And the camera pans over to what is clearly the parents of the little baby cellists standing, watching their kids play.
Yeah.
As opposed to sitting in the audience. It's all the, like, parents watching. She says, watch the lady in blue flirting with that other guy. That's the dad of another student. Her husband is standing right next to her, and his wife is standing right next to him. And she's like, it's kind of hot.
What?
Lizzie is getting, like, super turned on and making Charlotte watch the parents flirting. And then we see that the lady kind of, like, makes an excuse to walk over to the guy she's having an affair with and stands next to him. And we see that she, like, touches his hand with her pinky.
Oof.
And then, like, rubs the front of his pants without anybody seeing on his penis, because that's where his penis is.
Whoa.
Right. And Lizzie leans over to Charlotte and says, in her I want to have sex with you whisper way, I know I shouldn't spy, but that gets me so wet.
What?
And I was like, and then Charlotte giggled like I'm giggling right now. It was very sexual.
Oh my.
So
coming in hot. We just met.
Hello. Hot cross buns.
Oh my. Hippity hoppity. Hot cross buns.
Playing it on the cello. Okay. So now the little recital is over and Charlotte comes out onto the terrace where Lizzie is. And Lizzie has her back to Charlotte and her face out to like the city of Shanghai or whatever the fuck. And Charlotte sees that she has a tiny music note tattooed on her back, like on her shoulder blade. And Charlotte walks up to Lizzie and Lizzie says, you know, we've met before. The day you were leaving the Back-Off Academy because your mom had a stroke was my first day. And we passed each other on the stairs. And we see a flashback to them passing each other on the stairs. And Lizzie is like, you know, I was so nervous when I saw you because you were my hero. Like, you were the reason that I came to the Back-Off Academy. And then Lizzie asked Charlotte, she's like, do you still play? And Charlotte says, I do now, but it took me a really, really long time. And I can say that I now love it again. And Lizzie kind of completes her sentence and she's like, because you're playing for yourself now. Like, there's not the pressure of the academy. And Charlotte kind of goes quiet and then says, do you ever think of leaving the academy? And Lizzie gets not defensive, but very definitive, where she's like, literally, I've never thought of it. Nope. I will never, ever leave. It's my family. I can't even imagine leaving it. Nope. I'm never leaving.
So we're adult. Is Lizzie an adult too?
Yes.
But she's still in the academy?
Yeah, because I think she's sort of graduated to another level, but she's like, still has a lot to learn. I would say it would be reasonable to think that maybe she's 18, but she's not like 30,
right?
You know? So, or maybe even 25, I would say is reasonable. They're young adults at this point. So it may be that they're no longer being taught, but they're like the face of the academy and they're performing for the academy and they're judges at the recitals and things like that. So they're still involved with the academy and she still lives there.
Okay.
So she's like, nope, never thought of leaving, never ever, won't ever leave. And she's like, this work is special and it's what's expected of us.
Okay.
And Charlotte says,
Ma'am?
wow, I don't miss hearing that. And then Lizzie says, you know, I am going to take a vacation while we're in Shanghai though. I can actually like go out and drink and have fun and party.
Wink,
for 2
wink.
weeks.
Hot cross buns.
Yep. It was definitely a wink, wink, hot cross buns sort of situation because then she takes Charlotte's drink out of her hand and chugs it while making direct, unbreaking eye contact. And I was like, this bitch is clear.
Wow.
In acting, we call that having a clear objective. And she has one. So now we are walking down the stairs. The two of them are walking down the stairs in this big, beautiful, like opera house, giant music facility. And a man at the bottom of the stairs drops his glass on the ground. Like he looks like he's dizzy and gets a nosebleed. And everyone's like, are you okay? And he's like trying to say like, stay away from me, stay away from me. And then he just starts vomiting up yellowish bile everywhere and kind of like passes out. And another party goer, as he's being walked out of the facility by two people who are like literally needing to hold him up, another party goer says, I hope it's not the hemorrhagic fever that's going around down south in Hunana. And Lizzie hears this and she's like, fuck, we were just recruiting down in Hunana. And she's a little freaked out because what they do is like they recruit students to come to the Back-Off Academy, but Anton Wings really likes recruiting from like unknown villages in the middle of nowhere kind of thing. And Lizzie comes on the recruiting trips to help, figure out if they're worthy of the academy. But then she says to Charlotte, hey, do you want to go dancing with me later? And then touches her face. Again.
Wow.
Very clear objective. So Paloma and Wings then come up to the two girls, and Wings begs Lizzie to play for the people that are there for this fundraiser or whatever. And Lizzie says, I'll play, only if Charlotte plays with me. And Charlotte's like,
in my vagina.
Please play the strings of my vagina. And Charlotte is real freaked out because she's like, I'm literally an amateur now. I truly have not played in 10 years. You are a professional. I cannot do this. And Lizzie takes her hand and says, you'll always be the cellist who makes my heart skip a beat when you play.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so Charlotte's like, gets a boner, hits herself in the eye, and is like, all right, I'll play. They start playing a cellist duet, which I think is possibly a pretty famous cellist duet, but like I don't know enough about it to say.
You didn't learn that in 5th grade?
I did not. So it cuts to them playing, and it's truly gorgeous. And I think that they might have both been playing. I'm going to look that up for the postmortem because I'm like, is fucking Allison Williams like a professional goddamn cellist and gets to be that hot? Go fuck yourself.
I bet she is, though.
I bet she is.
Like, don't you think Brian Williams had his daughter learn the cello?
Seems
right.
Do. Actually.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So as they are playing on stage, it's now interspliced with what they're going to do after they play. Okay, so like the soundtrack to what they're doing after they play is them playing this cellist duet.
Yeah.
So they go out and they're sneaking off to go dance, and then they're making out in the stairs, and then they're dancing some more, and then they're straight up fucking.
Yeah.
In a hotel room.
Hot cross buns.
It was hot cross buns. It was great. And then as the song ends, so also does Charlotte climax.
Yes.
It was very clear what was happening. So now, next morning, Charlotte is awake before Lizzie is. Lizzie is still laying in bed. Or laying down. They're both in bed, but like Charlotte is sitting up just kind of watching her sleep. And she's looking at the little tattoo on her shoulder. And Lizzie then wakes up, and we find out that Charlotte, not only has she never been with a woman before, she's never been with anyone before. And I was like, wow, that is like some complicated instruments to like dive into on your first try. In terms of,
yeah.
So she's like, my mom got sick and everything else just went on hold.
Yeah.
And based on it, it looks like I wouldn't be surprised if like the age breakdown was maybe Charlotte was 12 when she got sick and now she's 22, had been taking care of her for a decade.
Wow.
So those are some formative fucking years.
Yeah.
Lizzie then says, you know what? I'm traveling out west tomorrow and I want you to come. I'm unplugging from everything and everyone. So let's do it. Because remember, she wants to just experience this 2 weeks of vacation that has nothing to do with cello and music and the Back Off Academy and whatever. And Charlotte agrees to go. And then she says something along the lines of, one of them says, we're so different and yet more alike than we seem, but we don't really know what they're referring to. Now we see a title card. Again, remember we saw the first title card that said mission. This one now says detour. We're in a bustling city of Shanghai, and we're waking up with the cuties again. So they just had another night of boning, and they're super hungover. So Charlotte says, I have some ibuprofen in my purse. Do you want some? And Lizzie's like, I really do. I feel like shit. And then Charlotte pulls out 2 of those little mini alcohol bottles, and she's like, take them with this, a little hair of the dog. And I'm like, that's sound science, An ibuprofen with a little hair of the dog. I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that. So now they're walking through the city of Shanghai, and Charlotte says that she can't speak any Mandarin at all. So this is a little intimidating for her. And Lizzie does not feel good.
Oh.
And she looks bad. And it
oh no.
It's not, you know how like on our sync trips, one of us often will get like the most hungover ever.
Yes.
But I don't know what it is, but like you can tell it's a hangover. As opposed to, okay. Perfect example would be like when we were in New Orleans and Chris and Jenna had left, and I was like, I literally can't go to this final brunch. Like my body is shutting down. Yeah. I have no other option. That's kind of what Lizzie appears to be dealing with right now.
It's more like the hemorrhaginine flu.
Or the hemorrhagic flu. You got it.
The hemorrhoidal flu.
Yes, the hemorrhoid flu. So Charlotte is like, we don't have to go. And she's like, I only have 2 weeks here and I don't want to miss a second of it. Which I also understand because she's like, she's literally working 24 hours a day constantly as this like super disciplined student, blah, blah, blah. So Kim, your first question. And I will say, as Charlotte, you're going to have 2 goals today. One is to stay alive yourself.
Yes.
But your secondary goal, not necessarily equal to, but very close, is to make sure that Lizzie also stays alive.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair.
Just because like you're a good friend and you clearly like want to fuck again, for sure.
Right.
So my question is, you're walking through the streets of Shanghai. She looks ill as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get on the bus with her and do you let her get on the bus? And then
I mean,
you and Charlotte, what do you guys decide? I would say pretend it's me, but since we learned in our previous interview that you don't want to have sex with me, I guess you'll have to imagine someone else. We did an interview on a podcast we listened to, and I found out that Kim does not want to have sex with me, even if we're on a deserted island together. So whatever.
I want to ask this question, but I'm scared to know the answer.
What?
Do you want to have sex with me?
I just
no.
I just feel like if we were on a desert island.
No.
If we were on a desert island.
No.
We would get bored eventually.
Get out of my vagina, Ketryn. No.
What? Fine.
No.
Fine.
No means no.
You're right. No means no, and I respect that.
But
unless
now I'm
I make
uncomfortable.
sexy whispers in your ear.
Now I'm uncomfortable.
We're on I'm not saying like you're the top of my list of people I want to fuck. I'm saying we're on a fucking deserted island. What else are we going to do, Kim?
I don't want to be friends anymore.
Rude. Take it back. That hurt my feelings.
Okay, I still want to be friends, but now I'm uncomfortable.
Okay, don't be uncomfortable. I'm not going to try and have sex with you. It's fine. I'm not.
Barf.
Okay. So
it'd be like, ugh, blah, blah. It'd be like having sex with like a family member. I just kept getting like stuttery. My brothers or something. I'm so upset.
Kim's having a stroke. Can we?
I'm barfing.
Okay.
It's because I love you so much that you are actually family to me that it makes it utterly disgusting.
I know. I'm
to even
very
consider
sorry.
it and incestual.
I'm
and
sorry.
I'm disgusted by you.
I don't actually want to have sex with you.
Thank you.
I truly don't.
Thank you.
I just like making you stutter like a fucking idiot. I don't actually want to have sex with you. Okay. So do you? I also realized I asked that question wrong. Do you, Kim, get on the bus like together, and then does she get on the bus with her? There's no like separating from each other is what I was trying to say, but I realized that was unclear.
Okay. I want to keep both of us alive. I mean, I want to keep both of us here.
In Shanghai.
Yeah, I mean, if she's like has the fucking throw up yellow vial pass out flu, you should not be getting on a bus, bro.
I mean, honestly, even if
like
it was
sucks.
Yeah. Even if it was just like the worst hangover ever, I'm like, what if you fucking shit yourself? Like, this isn't like a Greyhound bus with a bathroom in it.
Yeah. I'd be like, at least like, let's take a day and see how we feel.
Yeah. Okay.
Like at least let's postpone. I'm going to say that she goes.
Double ding.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I just don't even think it would be. That's where I don't even think it would be fun. Like people who are like, I'm gonna power through and go to this music festival while I have a fever. I'm like, so you just won't enjoy the music festival? I don't understand what the problem is.
I have traveled very hungover, and it's not fun.
It's not
even
fun.
if it's just hangover. So even sick is worse. I've traveled sick too. Yeah. Oh my god,
it's not fun. I don't get people that have that in them or like think that would be enjoyable. So
remember leaving Jenna's wedding when I like
I'm gonna just let you
throw up on the side of the road.
I do
on the way to the airport to get on a fucking 5 to 6 hour flight.
Kim
that
was hungover.
Not great. I felt unwell. It's not a good sign when you have to barf on the side of the freeway on the way to the airport.
It was not. Kim was under the weather, shall we say. That was a fun time.
But
Jenna,
boy, did I have fun at that wedding.
You sure did. You lived up to your bridesmaid's duty. That's all I'm going to say.
I always do.
You always deliver on that.
I never disappoint. I'm going to be a bridesmaid on Monday.
Oh, for Monica?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
I know.
Okay. So they do get on the bus. And Lizzie, it is now moved to a place where it is clear she is not just hungover. Because she's like, there is a fire inside of my head. And
yeah, don't you wish you weren't on a fucking bus right now,
what
bitch?
The fuck? And so Charlotte
Go to bed.
hands her a bottle of water, and she drinks it in that way that's not just thirst. It's like panic of that's how thirsty I am. And she says, do you have any more ibuprofen? And Charlotte's like, yeah, here, take some more. And she takes like 8 of them, like 8 of these giant ibuprofen pills. And she's like, I'll be good now. I'll be good. I'm good. And I just wrote, she does not look good. So now we are on the bus and we are driving through a very remote area. So not only is the bus unequipped to house a very ill person, but the terrain is also unequipped to house a very ill person. And they're driving along those roads that are like right up next to a fucking mountain, so that like if somebody just walks over to the other side of the bus, that bitch is falling over the side. I hate those roads. That's like driving up to Idlewild and Lake Arrowhead. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
So they're driving through a super remote area. Lizzie is asleep and Charlotte is listening to music, and she's waving to like a little girl on the bus who's like making funny faces at her. And then all of a sudden Lizzie wakes up and she's like, my stomach is a mess and my head is worse. I need a bathroom. And Charlotte's like, we're in the middle of nowhere. What? I don't know what to tell you. And then she looks at her phone and there's no fucking service. Kim, what do you do? And what does she do?
I don't. Okay, who am I?
You are Charlotte. And you're on a bus in the middle of nowhere with people who don't speak Mandarin.
I'm gonna find a barf bag situation. I feel like usually those are around in the seats and stuff, or even if I have like a spare plastic bag,
or just somebody's luggage. Honestly, at this point,
like gonna prepare some.
This bus is, just so you know, this bus is basically a school bus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I have a spare bag because
you're Kim.
Exactly.
Yeah. She has gum for me and bags for her own barfing.
I have bags for days. I really do. I have a lot of bags. Or even like clearing out a purse if we got to get real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just prepare for some barf.
And she's got purses inside of her purse, guys, just so we're clear. But no tea, no shade. I haven't bought gum in 15 years. Because I know that when I need gum, Kim will have it for me, even if it's her last piece.
Isn't that the goddamn motherfucking truth? That's how you know your best friends.
I literally
That's
wouldn't
how you
even know how to purchase gum at this point. Like, who sells gum? I don't
Let
even
me
know.
tell you, it's very easy. You should try it sometime.
You know what? I'm
It's
good.
affordable.
I-
They're really throwing it at you.
I'm-
It's basically every single time that you're at a register, there's a gum available.
Honestly, I just feel like
Just
you have
right
it covered.
there.
Why be
Just
redundant?
right there. It's just so easy. It's just so easy. Small.
Yeah.
Keep it on you all the time. It's
Anyway,
so simple.
So barf bag.
All right. I'm getting a barf bag, even if it's one of my purses inside my purses. And then, okay. I guess I will also try to see if there's someone that like speaks English, or the driver maybe, to figure out how much longer it's going to be, like get some information, see if I can have someone who can help us
Okay.
on the bus to see maybe how much longer it is, or maybe be able to communicate that we need to like find a bathroom or pull over if she's sick or something, like
Okay.
a communication
Love it.
human.
All right. And is that you or
That's me.
Charlotte? Okay.
It's always harder in the beginning because I'm just like, who are you,
these people?
Charlotte?
Totally. Yeah.
Who are you, Charlotte? Okay, she doesn't have cell service.
And they're on the side of a mountain, basically.
We're on a mountain. Like, what? I don't know what she can do.
I know.
Is there an option to... You're probably not going to tell me this, but...
Go ahead. Ask.
Is-
Maybe I will. Maybe I'm feeling charitable today.
Like, I'm like, is do nothing an option?
Sure.
But then I'm like, why'd you ask this question? Because she probably does something. You know what I mean?
You realize most of Eric's editing is you thinking.
You know, you're a fucking cunt. Because I listen to our episodes. And sometimes...
How do they sound?
You think a lot. And I just fucking sit there and wait.
But I'm kind of a cunt.
I
so-
just patiently let you get through your thoughts.
Do you have any gum?
Fuck off. You fuck the right off right now. Okay, I'm gonna say she also tries to communicate with someone. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Charlotte.
So she definitely is trying to deal with the language barrier, because I feel like there is nothing to do if you cannot speak
Correct.
to anyone.
Yeah, you're fucked.
And at this point, Lizzie is so ill that I think even asking her like to translate, she can't.
Mm-hmm.
She is just saying that her head, she's in so much pain. She's never been in this much pain before in her life. So she's of no help. She's basically, we should just consider her kind of unconscious
Like,
at this
yeah.
point. So she starts going down the line trying to see if somebody speaks English. Finally, someone stands up to translate. And Lizzie then stands up in the middle of the aisle and just barfs.
Should have
She
prepared
needed
that
purse.
bag.
She needed one of Kim's spare purses. So she starts crying. Like, she's like, I feel so sick and I'm gonna shit myself.
This is why I didn't want you to get on the bus, boo.
I know. I didn't either. So finally,
there.
the bus stops because the guy that speaks Mandarin and English got the really asshole-ish bus driver to stop. This bus driver is a dick. Because you know what's a universal language? Somebody barfing and
Ew,
being really
yeah.
sick. That's a
And-
universal language that they are
also,
ill.
everyone on the bus doesn't want to be around that anymore.
Exactly.
They're like, can we get off and clean this up?
Clearly. Yeah. So bus finally stops and Charlotte is like, come on. And Lizzie's like, if I move, I'm going to shit myself. I can't move. My stomach is ripping apart. Like
Jesus.
It's not good. And she's like, what is happening to me? My head hurts so bad. And Charlotte is like trying to just get her to walk off the bus. And
where did they stop? Just on the side of the
just
mountain?
on the side of the fucking
Oh,
mountain.
God.
So they get off the bus and Charlotte is just cleaning her up after she shit herself. Like, she just shit. And the driver is being a huge fucking dick, like just screaming at them in Mandarin. And Charlotte is like, what do you want me to do? Like,
Yeah,
you can't
dude.
leave me on the side of a mountain, and I'm trying to clean up the vomit and shit so that I'm not bringing that onto your bus. Can you calm the fuck down? Lizzie is super embarrassed, obviously, and she's like, you know what? I did this for 10 years for my mom. This really doesn't even move the needle for me. It's okay. So they get back on the bus, and poor Lizzie is just walking down the aisle of the bus, just going, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry, like, to all of the passengers. And a passenger hands her a mask, like those doctor masks.
Please.
And the guy who speaks English is like, just take it. Because Lizzie was trying to be like, I don't need it. I'm okay now. And the guy's like, can you just take it? It'll make everybody else feel better.
It's not for you, ma'am.
He literally says that. He's like, it's not for you. It's for them. And so she takes it. So now she's drinking more water, and Charlotte is trying to be like, is there a hospital on the way? And there's still no service. And the guy that speaks English is like, we're not anywhere even these are villages. This is not a developed part of Shanghai. This is not a thing. So Lizzie is now screaming, my brain is on fire. Charlotte leans over the seat and she's like, I need you to close your eyes. We're going to play a game. She's like, we're going to list as many composers as we can in alphabetical order, like just trying to get her mind off of it. And as she's listing them, Lizzie falls asleep. But then she wakes up really suddenly and vomits everywhere. Before she can even get the window down, like those little downy windows, she pukes all over the window. And Charlotte looks and goes, what the fuck is that?
Huh? What is it?
And we look at the vomit, and it's maggots.
Ew.
She threw up maggots.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So now...
No.
Lizzie is losing her mind.
I'd be like, okay, I guess I'm done. This is
like,
it. Goodbye.
Jumping off the side of the mountain. See ya. Swan
See you
dive.
in the next life.
Yep. Swan dive off this mountain.
No, thank you.
So Lizzie is losing her fucking mind, and then she's like, what if you have it? And Charlotte's like,
fuck you, bitch.
I don't have it. You don't have it. You're just hungover. You're just sick. You're fine. The driver now starts screaming, and everyone is now screaming at her. And I'm like, you guys, like, this is a universal thing. You can see this. Lizzie now gets up and walks over to the other side of the bus and starts slamming her head into the window.
Oh, God.
'Cause she's just like, this hurts so bad. And at one point I thought she killed herself because she was hitting her head into the window so fucking hard. But then she gets up and she's like, there's something inside of my body. And she starts like scratching at her arms, and she keeps screaming. The driver then comes back, like stops the bus, comes back to the back of the bus, and physically pulls them both off the bus. And the translator then leans out the window and is like, we're going to get you help when we get to Tongli. I promise we'll send someone back. There's a small town just a little bit north. Maybe they have a doctor or something. Just start walking that way. Kim, what does Charlotte do, and what do you do?
Oh, God. I don't know. I don't want to even get on the bus. Okay. I guess Charlotte.
And Lizzie can barely stand.
Oh, God. Charlotte tries to get the translator to come with them. Maybe?
Charlotte does it. Okay.
Well, okay. Just let me think.
All right.
Woman. I don't fucking know what to do. Is like, we're off the bus. We're currently off the bus.
Yeah, the bus driver physically removed you.
I think Charlotte tries to get back on, and probably unsuccessfully. I'm going to try to get the translator to come off and help us and walk with us. I don't know.
You said Charlotte tries to get back on?
Yeah.
I'll give you both of those. Yeah, I think that would. She does try to get back on. The bus driver drives away. He's like, you can try all you want. Goodbye. So now they are walking through nowhere. And this is a part of the mountain where they're not like walking along a narrow road. It's sort of opened up a little bit. And there is a road, but it's not like one side is mountain and one side is death. They're kind of walking past this like little lake sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Just to give you an idea of the terrain of where they are. And Lizzie is begging Charlotte to leave her. Because she's like, I'm dying and there is nothing to be. I'm positive that I'm dying. And if you're going to catch whatever I have, then you're going to die too. Or you're going to be stuck with like my dying body. You need to leave. But I'm speaking very calmly. She is in constant hysterics, like just screaming and crying and barfing and crying and screaming. Then all of a sudden she looks down at her arm and the camera looks down at it too. There appear to be things crawling underneath of her fucking skin.
No.
And at this point, Charlotte is now freaked out as well.
Yeah.
Because she's standing back and she's just like, what the fuck is wrong with your arm? Then all of a sudden these bugs burst out of her arm.
Oh, God.
Bursting out of her skin.
What kind of bugs? What are they?
They're like little black cockroaches.
Oh, God.
And Charlotte has had it at this point. She literally is standing like 10 feet back and she's like, you have to get them out of you. And I'm like, duh, bitch. I'm like, it's not like yes, she has to get them out. She's like, you have to get them out. You have to get them out. I'm like, I'm pretty sure she doesn't know how to get them out. And Charlotte is just like screaming and crying and barfing and has bugs. Like she's just like reaching out to Charlotte with her hand like this, just covered with bugs, just crawling out of her veins.
Oh, God.
And then all of a sudden, Charlotte pulls out a meat cleaver.
What?
And says, you know what you have to do. Hands her the meat cleaver.
Why does she have a meat cleaver? From where henceforth does she get this meat cleaver?
Wait, do you not know that when you travel to Shanghai that they require you to carry a meat cleaver with you at all times?
What's happening?
I'm so unclear as to how you didn't know that meat cleavers are required.
I don't.
So she hands the meat cleaver to Lizzie, and Lizzie puts her cockroach hand down on a rock. Chop.
Oh my God. Lizzie does it to herself?
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
And now we get a riggedy rewind all the way back to the morning where they wake up. All the way back to waking up in the morning. Charlotte's watching Lizzie sleep. Sees the tattoo on her shoulder blade. And then while she's still asleep, while she goes into the bathroom after having said she feels really hungover, we see that the pills she pulls out have her mom's name on them with warnings like may cause hallucinations, severe nausea, do not drink alcohol while taking.
Oh my God, that little hot cross buns bitch.
Yep.
She wanted to get that first chair.
So we see that she gives her mom's meds. She gives her mom's meds again on the bus.
Oh my God.
We see that she actually does have service when she tells people she has no service, and that she was researching how to make an at-home tourniquet. You'll find out in a second. We then also rewind back to when she throws up all over the window and Charlotte says, "What the fuck are those?" Camera looks at the vomit. There are no maggots in it. Then we see Lizzie holding out her arm. Oh my God, they're coming out of your arm. There's no bugs on her arm.
Oh my God, she just chopped her own arm off.
And then she just,
oh my God.
We see Charlotte just calmly watch Lizzie chop her own hand off.
I'm so upset.
So Kim,
yeah, what?
Rewind.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Back to question 1.
What's
You're now Lizzie.
I don't want to be Lizzie. I don't want to be Lizzie.
Well, you can't be Charlotte. So as Lizzie, do you get on that bus now?
Mm-hmm. I don't feel good.
You don't feel good?
I
So
don't
what are you
feel good.
What are you gonna do instead?
When I don't feel good, I like to be alone.
Okay. What if you start to feel like way, 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 way worse?
Then I will
Like you
go
might feel like
to
you're dying.
the hospital.
Okay.
Le hospital.
That's probably pretty good because they might be able to see that you have
test
drugs in your
something.
system.
Yeah. That
Ding-a-ling.
sounds good. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. All right. So
Now what?
cut to old-timey
I'm
music
so
place.
upset.
A gorgeous, beautiful house. We're at the Back Off Academy.
Okay.
Title card, number 3. Home.
Yes.
Paloma is walking through the Back Off Academy.
Where do we think this is?
The Back Off Academy
what land?
appears to be in the United States.
Okay.
But it looks like they were recruiting in Shanghai and then also having like a concert in
Yeah.
Shanghai. But it
Okay.
appears that the academy is in the United States.
Okay.
Paloma is walking a new recruit through the academy. A little girl named Shang Li. And her mom is with her. And they're giving her a tour. And Wings brings her into this beautiful chapel. And he tells Shang Li to stand on the stage in front of the chapel and sing an A sharp. Which is always, by the way, that's a fucking superpower to me. I went to high school with a guy who you could say, sing a B flat. And he was
That's
a walking fucking
bonkers.
pitch pipe.
That's
It's
crazy.
insane. So she sings an A sharp, and we can tell that Wings is just obsessed with the acoustics. And he says, there has never been, in my experience, a room with more perfect acoustics than this room. And it is a privilege to play in this room, and you don't get to play in this room until you've earned it. And he says it requires years and years and years to be allowed to play in this room. Elizabeth Wells played in this room, and Charlotte Wilmore before her. So now we see the mom of little Shang Li get into a cab, and she's tearfully waving at Shang Li. Mm-hmm. Shang Li is standing on the stairs of the Back Off Academy, and Paloma and Wings are standing behind her waving. And she's like, this is your new home now. And it truly looks beautiful. Like, it's a fucking, like, gorgeous European style mansion where I'm like, I'll fucking play the cello all day, goddammit. That place is gorgeous. Cut to middle of the night at the Back Off Academy. The doorbell rings. Wings goes down to answer it and like hits the little intercom and is like, who's there? No one answers. But it's buzzed again. And he's like, seriously, who's there? No one answers. So he goes outside in his robe to the gate. And he sees it's Lizzie standing on the other side of a gate with no hand. Alone. So now we're in the Hearth Room of the Back Off Academy.
I'm sorry, the what?
Like where the fireplace is.
The Hearth Room?
Like
Is that
it's
a
not
room we have when we're summering on the Cape?
No, but it's
I'm
like
sorry, I've never
it's
heard of
not
a Hearth
necessarily
Room.
it's not necessarily a living room because it's not like huge where you could like entertain people. You wouldn't necessarily bring like your dinner party in to like have cocktails there, but it's like a hearth room where you might like have your butler bring you your food, like your cheese plate, and have a nice glass of wine while you read a book next to the hearth.
Okay.
It's an old style European mansion. It would definitely have a hearth room, and that is where we are. And it looks delightful, and I would like to read a book in there with a glass of Pinot Noir. Thank you very fucking much.
Next to the hearth.
Yes, that's...
I've never heard that word in my entire life.
Yes, you have. You've heard the word hearth.
No, I haven't. When?
There's literally a Greco-Roman goddess who is the goddess of the hearth, and her name is Hestia.
Never heard of that.
Or is it
You
Zeus's
didn't
wife?
you didn't explain that in a way that would definitively say that I've heard the word.
Hearth.
But there's a goddess of the hearth. Oh, I'm sorry. That means I definitely heard it then.
Here's the thing. I don't disagree that I just sounded like a douche. I can't even.
At least we're on the same page.
We are. I couldn't even turn the page on that. I was like, no, this is the douche page. I deserve to be here.
Great. Thank you for admitting that.
You're welcome. Anyway, that's where she is. So Anton Wings is like, what the fuck happened to your hand? And Lizzie says, they found me on the side of the road with no fucking hand, but a handmade tourniquet. Drugged out of my mind. They took me to a hospital at that point. Somebody found her, probably the little translator dude that came back. And by the time I woke up in the hospital, Charlotte was out of the country. And Anton Wings is like, why would she do that? And Lizzie's like, because she's a jealous fucking bitch. That's why. Like, she's pissed. So.
Rightfully so. Bitch took my hand.
Bitch took my hand. Like, made me take my own hand, which is just, honestly, adding salt to my nub. That's fucked. So now Lizzie is in her room and she's just looking at her nub and having flashbacks to the lake where she's screaming, chopping off her own hand. But she tries to compose herself and comes downstairs and sees all of the little baby cellists practicing, and she's got her nub in a sling. And she smiles at Anton Wings, and Anton Wings just kind of looks at her and looks away and goes back to conducting the babies. Cut to Wings, Paloma, and Lizzie in his office. And she's like, you're kicking me out? And he's like, we're setting you up elsewhere in the city. We'll pay for everything. We'll pay for your rehab. You're all taken care of. Kim, as Lizzie, what does she do and what do you do?
Okay.
Or try to do, I should say.
She tries to stay because this is her fucking life.
Right.
And she's pissed. And I'm going to take them up on their offer. I'm like, pay for my life.
Kim, honestly, you're
starting
killing
fresh.
it. You're honestly killing it. 'Cause I was about to be like, I wonder if she'll get tricked, but you didn't. So Lizzie tries to say, she begs, she's like, I'm still useful. Like, I can teach, I can compose, I can scrub the fucking toilets. But don't make me give up everything I've worked for because this tragedy happened to me. And she's like, if you accept me, the music world will accept me. But you and I both know that if you reject me, I'm dead in this industry. There's no, finding another job within this industry. If you toss me out, they will toss me out. Wings says... Paloma says to her, listen, this isn't a convalescent home. We have others that we need to house and we need to train. And I'm like, ooh, bitch.
Damn.
Girl, you are
Damn.
Not an ally
Heartless.
of
Heartless.
This. Yeah, like, what a fucking bitch. Wings then stands up and says very sweetly to Lizzie, you had a gift. Now you don't. What an asshole.
I feel like my chest has been ripped open and my heart's been stabbed.
Well, with the other hand. No. Because you're missing one.
No, by their hands.
Yeah. So now she's walking down the hallway of the Bachoff Academy, just kind of stunned. And she's looking at pictures along the hallway wall, and she comes to a picture of Charlotte and Wings. Charlotte as a little girl. And she gets fucking angry eyes and punches it with her nub. Cut to Charlotte's home. She's cutting tomatoes. She hears something outside. Kim. As Charlotte,
Yeah, what?
what do you do and what does she do?
What do we do? So, I feel like I've gotten my whatever the fuck I needed to do, but there might be people mad at me in this world.
You think? Who might be mad? Why would they be mad?
My ex-lover.
Your hot cross buns.
My hot cross buns. We're both going to take our knife and make sure our doors and windows are locked. Where did we hear the noise?
Unclear. You just know you're alone in your house and you heard something.
Yeah. Well, we're going to keep our tomato knife. Maybe just grab that meat cleaver we always got around in the back pocket.
Don't you have a meat cleaver in your back pocket right now?
Meat cleaver.
Chop!
Yeah. We're going to knife it up and then we're going to make sure we're safe.
1 point. So you got a ding-a-ling because you brought your tomato knife and meat cleaver with you. If you hear a noise that is unexpected in your home, always bring your fucking tomato knife or meat cleaver.
Yeah.
She puts the goddamn tomato knife down.
Well, that's just dumb.
And I could tell it was a sharp knife because it was cutting them tomatoes real nice. It's nothing worse than a dull knife cutting tomatoes. It's kind of my pet peeve. So she starts walking down her hallway, turning on lights, looks out the door, like the glass pane of her door, doesn't see anything. She hears something inside, walks down the hallway, turning on the light, opens the door to a bedroom. Nobody's there. It's fine. Let's go chop up some tomatoes. Here comes Lizzie. Lizzie fucking tases her.
You're a bitch because I knew what you were doing and it still scared me.
I know, it was great. You like literally smiled knowing that I was about to startle you. And I still did it. That's my superpower. So Lizzie fucking tases her with her non-nub hand, obviously.
Go ahead, bitch. Get her. Get her.
And just starts kicking the ever-living shit out of her.
She's angry and rightfully so.
I agree. And she's just like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Just kicking her over and over again. And then stops kicking her. Charlotte rolls over, kind of like unable to even like defend herself or get up. And Lizzie just puts her combat boot foot over her face.
Shit.
Cut to Anton and Paloma back at Backoff Academy. Lizzie is prowling outside of the gate as they drive up from having been out. And they're like, what the fuck? I thought we kicked you the fuck out. Wings gets out of the car to talk to her and says, you can't be here. Kim, as Lizzie, what did she bring him?
She brought him Charlotte's hand. Is that right?
That's a half a point.
Oh, fuck.
Because she brought her Charlotte's whole body, but her hand was obviously included in that. Yes. So I gave you half a point.
Fair.
Yeah.
Valid.
She did not bring her hand. She didn't chop off her hands, leave them back at Charlotte's house, and just bring the rest of her. So half a point for you.
Fair. That's fair. Her whole body.
Yep. And Lizzie says... I'm sorry, Anton says, you can't be here. And Lizzie says, because I have nothing you wanted. Now I do. I have the bitch in the trunk of my car. So can I come home now?
God, Lizzie.
So now Charlotte wakes up in the hearth room. And Anton is
Back
sitting
in the hearth, right?
We're back
Got it.
in the hearth
I know
room.
exactly what that looks like.
I'm going to show you a fucking picture of this room.
I can't wait to see because
there's no other way to describe it. So
I bet there is.
I don't know. When you say, I
bet there's other words.
What would you call it?
A library.
Are there books? I don't know. I only see a hearth.
The fireplace room.
Fireplace room. But that just sounds so inelegant.
I don't know. I live on the other side of the tracks, Ketryn. I don't know the names of rooms. Rooms.
You have the tea room, the morning room, the living room, the sitting room, the dining room, the formal dining room, the ballroom.
You just named so many rooms. I bet it could have been called at least 5 of those rooms.
Many rooms. Okay. So Charlotte now wakes up in the hearth room, and Anton is sitting across from her in the same position he was when he was talking to Lizzie about where did you misplace your hand? He says to Charlotte, were you really that jealous? And Charlotte says, I wasn't jealous. I saw a picture of her in the magazine. I saw her tattoo. I knew what she had to do to get that tattoo.
What? What did she have to do?
I knew she was brainwashed like me. Until I left because my mom got sick, I had no idea what you were doing to me. But I sat in that room for a decade.
She was saving her.
Slowly going crazy. I blamed myself. I went to mental wards so I could come back into your lives. And Anton Wing says, why? And she says, to save her. From you. He laughs awkwardly. Like, what are you talking about? Honestly, what are you... And then just a resolve comes over his face where he goes, I can't lie about this anymore. So he went from this sort of like kind of like, that's crazy. I care about all my... This is exhausting face.
Oh, man.
Steven Weber fucking killed it. He was real good in this. So now we hear cello music. Flashback to baby Charlotte and Anton practicing in the chapel. He grabs her arm and stops her. And little Charlotte says, I made a mistake. Wing says, yes, you did. Charlotte says, forgive me. And she starts crying. And Wing says, stop the fucking crying. We don't make mistakes here. Now here come 2 other instructors, Theus and Jeffrey. Anton Wing says, I teach you the same way I was taught, and my father was taught, and his father before him. Why do we work so hard, Charlotte? Because we're the best, and it's what is expected of us. You got the tattoo because you were ready to play in the chapel and be the best. And if you aren't the best, then you discredit the academy. Why? Because I was prepared by the perfection and I failed. And we see that baby Charlotte is looking at a light under the door. And we see that she's imagining running out of the Bachoff Academy through the fields.
Mm-hmm.
Back to Anton and baby Charlotte in the chapel. Anton says, if you fail, you can't get close to God. So what happens now? And baby Charlotte says, I pay the price. Here comes a blurry, unfocused image of naked Wings walking towards her with Theus and Jeffrey behind him, taking a big glug of their drink. Bummer!
Oh, God. I was very, very, very scared it was going down that path.
It is a rape academy. Cut back to grown Charlotte being dragged down the chapel stairs. She's tied at her wrists and gagged. Lizzie is already down there. Charlotte tries to run, headbutts Lizzie in the head, trips up the stairs, screen goes to red. Charlotte wakes up in the chapel. She's in a beautiful formal red dress, makeup done, sitting in a chair, chained to it on the chapel stage. Anton, Lizzie, Paloma, Theus, and Jeffrey are all sitting in front in the audience. And Anton Wing says, "Now you'll play for us again." And Charlotte's like, I'm not ready. I can't play the perfection. I haven't played for 10 years. And she starts saying, "We were children. How could you do this to us?" And Theus and Jeffrey and Paloma even are just completely complicit in all of this. And then I wrote, creepy, great Wings performance. Anton Wings was fucking so good. He's a goddamn creeper. Like, it's so funny that we know him from like Wings when he was just this sort of the funny guy. He's fucking creepy as fuck. And Charlotte is just like, "You abused us. You did this to us." And Anton Wings looks over at Lizzie and says, "Lizzie, were you abused?" And Lizzie says, "To play that music, to achieve the perfection, it was a gift." Brainwashing.
I'm so upset.
So now they start talking about the ritual. Lizzie starts making everyone drinks. And Anton Wing says, "If you achieve the perfection, you can go. But if you make a mistake, it won't be you who pays." Here comes Paloma, bringing little Shang Li into the chapel.
No. Oh, God. What the fuck?
Right.
What the fuck? What
Anton-
the fuck are you talking to me about?
Anton Wing sits little Shang Li, who's just excited to hear a cello performance in the
You're
very
a
first
fucking
chair.
bitch, Ketryn.
I'm sorry.
I fucking hate you.
I am sorry. Talk to Anton Wing.
I don't want to.
I do need to know, as Charlotte Burnsy,
What?
what do you do? And what does she do?
I mean, I think that she plays. I think that I will begin to play, because that will require them to unchain me. I can't play my cello.
She's only chained at her ankles right now.
Oh.
Because they've dressed her. So I did say she was chained like this when she was dragged down the stairs. But she was then, while unconscious, dressed up in a beautiful red dress, her makeup done. And now it's just her ankles chained to the chair that she's sitting on.
Oh.
So your hands are free.
But my ankles are connected to a chair.
Correct. So you'd be doing kind of a funny little shuffle walk. You.
That's
It's not a heavy chair.
Foils my plan, though.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. And like chains? Like what kind of chain?
Chain.
What are we talking?
You could write a song about them. They're pretty intense.
Okay.
It's a bummer, man. I know.
All right. I think in this moment, it's best to at least begin to placate them.
Well, can I stop you for a second? I don't know the answer to this. I'm genuinely curious because you can still play the flute to an extent. I don't have any. I don't think I have any muscle memory of the cello.
Right.
Could you honestly, under duress, play something on the flute by memory that you learned 10 years ago?
No, but it sounds like we had different trainings.
But like even hot cross buns, I'm saying. Like the equivalent.
The equivalent doesn't work for me. I could never play. There's like one song I can play by memory.
Okay. So you could play that song by memory, whatever you're talking about.
Probably. And it's only like one line. I couldn't play the whole song. Like it's like Beethoven's like fifth. Like
Oh, I love that one.
That's like the only thing. But that's just because like I was always like a reading music person. I wasn't in a fucking academy. You know what I mean? But like I bet if I was trained that way, I bet I could.
Yeah.
And she said she started playing again. It's
Yeah.
not like she hasn't played.
Yeah.
At all.
I doubt she's played the perfection though.
I'm sure she hasn't.
Yeah.
I don't think my plan is not to go into it assuming that I'm going to be perfect.
Yeah. I was thinking about it in terms of monologues that I knew like the back of my hand, but haven't done for such a long time. I was like, I don't know
I could actually
pull them out of my asshole. I really don't.
I would say the memory to play something on the flute is stronger than the memory of a monologue.
You think?
Yeah.
Because it's got muscle memory
It's
involved?
a muscle memory thing.
Yeah,
like
you're
it has
right.
nothing to do with memory, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember monologues, but that's also because I can't remember words. So
Right.
it might just be my brain.
You're right. No, but I think you're right. It's like
my fingers just do it.
she's getting to access like two parts of her brain that probably one comes in to assist the other one, whereas like a monologue, it's
Like the fact that I haven't played in so long and really don't, but I still could look at music though right now.
Yeah.
And know where the notes are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's bizarre.
yeah. No, I mean, I thought of you while I was watching this
Yeah.
because I was like, I wonder if Kim could save me.
But I would not go into it being like, I'm going to do this perfectly.
Yeah.
I think here's my thoughts is to go into it attempting to be perfect, obviously,
Right.
because that hopefully takes care of everything, even though I don't trust them at all. So it doesn't matter. At this point,
It
I'm
would
like,
at least buy you some time, probably.
That's basically what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Is like, I feel like the best idea right now is to start playing because that's going to buy me at least some time to figure some shit out.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to, it's like, I want to use my cello and especially my little fucking bow as a weapon. Like, you know, I'm just really trying to figure out those leg shackles. But yeah, it's like placating them for the moment, but I'm still trying to get the fuck out of there. And also like, I think at this point, my number one goal is to either kill Anton and or get the fuck out of there, because at least getting out of there, but like why didn't I do anything ever then? I don't know. This is
You
me,
mean when
I
you were a
guess.
kid?
Yeah, like at any point, why didn't I ever
She clearly says she was brainwashed. That she didn't realize she was brainwashed until she went home to take care of her mother.
which has been the last 10 years. So why hasn't she like called the cops since then?
I think that's probably a
'Cause in my
psychologist
brain-
would probably tell us why she didn't.
Yeah. In my brain right now, I'm like, get the fuck out. That's how I can help everyone the most is to get out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
But okay. Well, we won't go into the psychology because I'm like, but she went to all this other trouble. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm not in her brain. Okay.
I hear you.
I'm going to say we both start playing.
Okay. Yes. To be honest.
That was a long conversation for that answer.
Yeah. But I mean,
But you hear me.
I do. And I think you'll have a better understanding of her psychology in a moment.
Okay.
But yeah, to be honest, you didn't really have a ton of other options. So she starts playing, or I'm sorry, before she starts playing, she tries to at least plead with Anton to say, don't do it to her, like do it to me. She just got here. And Anton is like, play the perfection. So
Fuck off.
she sees...
Fuck off. Fuck you and your super perfection,
Right? And, like,
motherfucker.
what
Fuck
a fucking
you.
pretentious fucking
The
name.
perfection.
The perfection.
Fuck you.
So fucking pretentious. I bet he has a small penis
And a hearth room.
that he calls the perfection.
Oh,
So gross.
Ew.
Isn't that so gross?
I'm so
But
upset.
like, you know he does. You
I'm
know
so
he
upset.
does. Oh God.
He definitely does.
Oh
I'm
God.
gonna cut his perfection off.
Right?
Shove it down his fucking throat.
So he can play that like a flute.
Zing.
Okay. So she is hesitant to play, but she sees him put his hands on Shang
Yeah.
Li's shoulders.
Yeah.
So she picks up her cello. and she starts to play. And this is where I was like, damn, I think this bitch is playing. And it was a complicated as fuck cello piece. Like, I want to play it for you. It was really impressive. And I haven't played in so long, but the way that her hands were moving, I was like, that looks real. So I want to find out if she really was. Everyone is watching her, and we are listening to this incredibly complicated piece with dissonant chords and all this kind of stuff, but very clearly to everyone listening, she messes up because it just doesn't fit. And she keeps staring at Anton. He puts his hands on Shang Li's shoulders again, and Shang Li just starts to clap and says, "That was so beautiful." Now Anton says, "You know what happens now. Paloma, take Shang Li upstairs to bed." And Shang Li walks past Charlotte and just says, "Thank you. That was really wonderful."
No. Shang Li.
Takes her upstairs. Now here's the good news.
I'm so upset.
Anton Wing says,
I'm so upset.
"Did you really think I was going to make her pay for your mistake? She needs her tattoo. I'm not some random pervert." Fuck you! And Charlotte says, "You motherfucker." Then Anton Wings turns to Theus and Jeffrey and says, "Come get me when she stops biting." Meaning they're going to tire her out, and then he'll come in for the end when she stops biting, because he's not really into the biting. It's a bummer.
He's talking about Charlotte?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Theus and Jeffrey take a big old swig of their drinks, and we see that Charlotte...
I'm fucking
upset?
angry.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
So on fire right now.
Yeah.
Ah!
So we see that she's still sitting on the chair, still shackled, but now her arms are strung out, and they're held out on either side of her. And she's screaming, and Theus and Jeffrey are walking up to her, and Lizzie is walking up to her as well and says, "I want her first." And she starts unwrapping her nub and says, "Spread her legs."
Oh my God.
And she starts shoving her nub
oh my God
into her, and we are watching it.
Oh my God.
Then all of a sudden, Theus and Jeffrey start choking and convulsing, and they collapse and fall down dead
Lizzie.
on either side. Charlotte and Lizzie look at each other and start making out.
Oh my God.
Rewind. Back to question 5. When Lizzie comes into your house, what's your plan now? You've rewound. What's your plan? She's beating the ever-living shit out of you.
Oh.
What do you do, and what's your plan?
I'm so fucking upset. Okay. She's already in the house. She's
in the house. There is someone in the house.
She's hitting me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's pissed. She's actually pissed.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did make her cut her hand off.
Sure.
Yeah. Rightfully so. I'm going to get on her side and say, "No, I did this for you. I know what the tattoo is." I'm going to talk about the tattoo because we both know what the tattoo is.
Okay.
And I think even when you're brainwashed, you still know what the tattoo, how you got that tattoo.
Hopefully.
And be like, I've been you. I was trying to help you. Like, getting out of there was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I was trying to help you. And tell her that we can get back at them together.
Ding. So she does plead with her, but actually doesn't have to do much. Because when we rewind, we see Lizzie with her foot on Charlotte's face, and she says, I should kill you. But you were right. What you said on the side of the road, you were right. Rewind to the side of the road. Lizzie has chopped off her own hand, and Charlotte is kneeling next to her and says, I had to get you out. I had to come up with a true reason so he wouldn't need you anymore. It was not an education that they were giving us. It was rape. And the next time you need Anton, he won't be there. So cut back to the house with Charlotte. And they're now talking like after Lizzie has come in and has finished beating her up, and they're talking. And she says, I'm so sorry. And Lizzie says, I keep seeing them abusing me like I never saw it before. It took this for me to see it. We have to stop them, and I need your help. And Charlotte says, anything. So it sounds like Charlotte can not only relate to the abuse, but also relate to it took getting out of it for the brainwashing to go away. So I'm sure that that is why she knew that just like saying, hey, aren't you being raped? That it wouldn't work. She was like, we need to create a scenario where like Anton is going to release you because his brainwashing is too strong. You're never going to be able to make the choice yourself. Just like I wasn't able to make the choice myself. The choice was made for me because my mom had a stroke.
Yeah.
So, title card, number 4, duet. We're in the chapel. Theus and Jaffrey are dead on the stage. And Anton Anton is just kind of like looking at them, having a drink. Charlotte and Lizzie are gone. He puts some music on the record player. Anton is just looking at the bodies, annoyed, drinking some tea. Paloma walks in. He's staring at her, says, Paloma, what is it? She doesn't answer. She just stares at him and pisses herself. Music changes to hip hop. Really, really fucking loud. And here come Lizzie and Charlotte in behind Paloma. And Lizzie just lightly takes her finger and slightly pushes Paloma over, and she falls down dead with a knife in her back.
Shit.
Lizzie now pulls out a meat cleaver.
Yeah, she does.
And Charlotte pulls off her wig. And we see that she's just started to grow hair because she was the one who was in a mental ward with electroshock therapy and all that kind of stuff, which also explains why she didn't report it right away, because she was dealing with her really sick mom and then clearly was having to go through lots and lots of therapy to sort of deal with what happened to her. So Lizzie and Charlotte now tell Anton Wings, no one is going to hear you, and we're going to chop your balls off and sell them as trinkets. And he says, listen, I'm sick. I can get help. I'm sick.
You.
That's exactly what they say, because they just start choppity, chopping. And the way that they're shooting it, it's as if it's that kind of thing where like the camera is on Charlotte's face as like blood is just being like spurted into her, but it's like there's a GoPro, so it's like her head is steady but everything else is moving, you know, that kind of look to it. And so then we see that Charlotte falls down to the ground and we're like, fuck, is she dead? And it's a flashback of naked Anton walking towards her, a flashback of her running away from the academy, and cut back to Charlotte's face as her eyes open. We hear Lizzie saying, Charlotte, the knife. And the camera pans over. Lizzie is hurt and Anton is crawling towards the knife. Charlotte goes for the knife. They're fighting each other. She gets on top of him. He flips her over. Now he's on top, and he fucking slices through her arm from wrist to elbow between the two bones. So it's literally like slicing through her arm, like fucking boning a fish. It was grossy town. Lizzie then gets up right as he's about to stab Charlotte, and she stabs him and just starts chopping and chopping and chopping and chopping and kicking and beating. Cut to another flashback to Charlotte running from the academy. Cut to the chapel, present day. Kim, together. What do they do together? And what do you do? You have Anton all to yourself. Jeffrey's dead. Theus is dead. Paloma's dead. Hip-hop is playing too loud that none of the students would hear anything. And you just
Is he still alive?
Unclear.
But we're in the chapel with him, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm going to cut off his penis and shove it down his throat.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do they do?
They're going to I think just torture him as much as possible, maybe.
This is 1.5 dings.
Okay.
Because they did torture him. You got a 0.5 point because I love the gesture and the symbolism, but I'm going to give it to them when you hear what they did.
Okay.
And I think you'll agree. So we cut to present day. The two women are on the stage, and we see that there's a man in a chair right in front of the stage looking at them, hooked up to an IV bag, but we can't see who it is. Camera pans around, and it's Anton Wings, still alive, in a chair, hooked up to an IV with no limbs at all, gagged, sitting there as Lizzie and Charlotte pick up one cello and one bow. Charlotte sits on Lizzie's lap, and Lizzie plays the notes while Charlotte plays the bow. And they play the perfection, hand in hand, perfectly. Bye, bitch! The end.
Wow.
Super fucked.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Well, shit.
yeah. So I had a little bit of that thing. Actually, Eric pointed it out to me. I thought it was great. It was worth watching. The acting was good. Eric pointed it out to me. He was like, I'm starting to see what people say sometimes about like using rape as a plot device.
Right. Yeah.
It was a little okay. Like the only
Right.
reason that women would come to their own defense is if they were raped.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is a thing that happens, taking advantage of small children in a place of authority. So,
And it definitely validates their feelings.
yes, it does. So that was the perfection. Do you know what points you got?
I really do.
You did fucking great.
I feel like I killed it.
You really did. So be right back. Hey guys, this is Ketryn and Kim from Kim and Ket Stay Alive Maybe, and we want to tell you about a brand new way to listen to our podcast. It's called Podcoin.
What's that, Ketryn?
Well, it's a free app that you can download on your iPhone or Android, and you just listen to podcasts exactly the same way you're doing right now, except you get paid to do it.
I like getting paid.
As do I. So what you can do is, for the amount of time that you listen, you earn Podcoins, and you can then trade those Podcoins in for things like Amazon gift cards or Starbucks gift cards, which is what I will be using mine for.
Or you can donate to charity, which is what I'll be doing because I'm a better person than you.
That is true. So how do they do it, Kim?
Just download it and then put in our code, Stay Alive, capital S, capital A,
Yeah.
and you'll get 300 points just by joining.
Yeah.
So that's it. Get Podcoin and stay alive.
Woo! All right, Miss Burns.
Yes.
You are just getting better and better every week.
I'm learning to survive, girl.
Telling you, because you got 18 out of 24, bitch.
Woohoo.
You got 15 out of 17 on the questions.
Yeah. If honestly,
you fucking killed it.
as far as I'm concerned. I'm only going to care about the questions anymore and
great.
Consider myself 15 out of 17.
I think that's fair because you only got 3 out of 7 on the Dead or Alive.
And that's just guessing. It doesn't even matter. Surviving, I'm killing it.
Right. But it's interesting to me because you would think that even just the laws of probability would suggest that you would do better at some point in time on the Dead or Alive. But you defy the laws of probability because you are just that special. It was...
Well, I'm glad I survived that one because it was rough.
And that was a bummer.
It was a bummer.
Yeah. It was good. I liked it.
It was good.
Do we have any other business that we need to attend to before we peace out?
No, we love you.
We love you. Yeah. Follow us on all the things, kksampodcast, and check out our website. We have a live show coming up on August 4th in Long Beach. We still have lots of fun BoneCon for our patrons. You can sign up for that. And we have some dope merch. So, yeah, this has been Kim and Ket Stay Alive.
Maybe. So until next week,
stay alive. Goodbye.
Bye.
Ghosted me.
I'm done.